What's that? Thanks, John.
Yeah, we, you saw the bids. Yeah, we got the price. I would just make sure if you haven't already, you run it by Johnson. To make sure that it qualifies. I did. I'll check. I guess we could. Yeah. I would say since they requested that we vacate it, that we leave it up to them to get it recorded. I thought that was fair. It would be one day, we were doing it 10 days. If you have any questions on the phone. I appreciate it.
Call the meeting to order, Mr. Township, Monday, April 4th, 2016. Pledge allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll in silence. Thank you.
Commissioner Saxon?
Here.
Commissioner Kozma?
Here.
Commissioner Duckowitz? Here. Commissioner Blake?
Here.
Commissioner Evans? Not present. President Roderick?
Here.
All right.
There was no executive session for tonight, but we've probably run halfway here in a little bit. So we have a few things on the agenda that are personnel matters that are going to have to be addressed in exec session. And before we address them in public, we're going to have to break for a quick exec session here in a few minutes. We're going to have a presentation tonight by Al Pasquarelli and J.R. Petrick on waste management for the hazardous waste program. And we are going to eliminate that off the agenda. It is item number 7. Mr. Pasquarelli had a death in the family. He's unable to be here tonight. So before we vote on it and bring it in front of the board, we'd like to have a presentation for the public and for the commissioners before we make a vote on that. So we're going to strike number 7 from the agenda, and that will be continued until the next meeting on April 18th. Just going to reiterate a few of. We started with some rules, and everything started getting out of hand as far as people speaking from the audience at different places and things like that. Everybody's able to speak. We have a 3-minute time limit, but we're going to ask that they sign up so we know who's addressing the Board of Commissioners.
Followed by a name or a number.
And whenever they come up to the, we're going to ask that you come up to the microphone unless you're physically unable to come up to the microphone. So then we will have somebody bring it to you, but we're going to start there. And as far as we just need to know who's addressing the board. I mean, it's getting to the point where it's really getting out of hand, so we have to maintain some order here. And 1 gavel will be a warning if somebody speaks out of turn. 2 gavels, chief will have you ask them to leave the meeting. And just as far as hey, this is a township meeting. We're public officials. We're open, and but the personal tax is absolutely ridiculous. And I usually do not respond, but I am going to respond. I did have a conversation with Dana Evans after the last meeting because she had an attack and she accused me of official oppression. And I talked to her, explained everything, and we did have a decent conversation. But I do want to make it clear because I don't think personal business should interfere with the township business, but that did cross paths. And I did it like I explained to her. I went to her place of employment because as on the side, I do development work. I build buildings and I have developmental properties, and I've done some work with her same company. And after being elected to the president of the Board of Commissioners, there was a lot of distension and personal attacks, and the attacks were made on Facebook and different things. And I did pursue legal action. And as far as the personal attacks were going, and Paul, sorry you didn't make president, but you did threaten basically to expose administration through Facebook, and I'm sorry for that, but I don't think the public should be exposed to this. I really don't.
Now, if you want to put it on record, we'll put it on record. I've been posting on Facebook since January of 2014, since I took this office, and I will continue to post, regardless if it was daily news articles or if it's other things. But I will continue to post for my constituents, and so have I made a personal attack against you?
There has been
Have I, is what I asked you.
There has been. There has been personal inferences and things like that. So.
We can gladly discuss this because I don't ever remember making a personal attack against you.
Well, and
So
like I said,
I would like you to present me with all the times that I've made a personal attack against you.
well, and like I said,
Because there aren't any.
and like I said, we can agree to disagree.
You're right.
This is a public forum.
Or we
But
can not
what?
tell the truth.
No,
We can just continue to.
You can get an attorney. I can get an attorney, and that's the way we can.
You're exactly
we
right.
can go down that path.
Absolutely.
If that's the path we go. But
Absolutely.
as far as the personal attacks, I'm not going to sit here and take them. Because I do business, and that's why I wanted to make sure my business relationship is maintained through that company, and I have every right to do that. So, but to be accused of official oppression, and we did have a good conversation, and it went fine. But you know, it's gotten to the point where it's beyond ridiculous. I mean, as far as that
And
goes.
that's fine, and I'm not gonna respond to you until you call me out of everybody in the room or on this board. You call me out for personal attack. And I'm telling you to produce it. Because so far, I've heard very few truths come out of your mouth. And I would, again, love to see that. And sir, by all means, I'm used to going under oath in my career, and I'll gladly go under oath and tell the truth.
And so am I. I'm an expert
I'm
with
looking
this
forward to
also,
that.
so I'm glad to hear it too, so I'm looking forward to it, so. Let's move on. Okay, let's do our department reports. Code enforcement.
You have my written report. On top of that, I see it's also on the agenda, we had the proposal thing for the grass cutting service for abandoned and neglected property. Right on the agenda.
Anything else, Sean?
No, other than the continued zoning hearing board meeting is April 20th, and the board is taking public comments. If anyone would like to submit them, they can submit them here to the building. Attention to myself.
Okay, thanks, Sean.
Brian,
Brian?
just a quick question. They need to submit their questions to you ahead of time?
No, anybody that wants to submit public comments or written comments to the zoning hearing board can do that as well. Okay, they're forwarded to the board.
Thank you.
Brian?
Thank you. You have my written report, just a couple of updates. We did receive bids on the 2016 paving program. On March 31st, we received 9 bids. The low bidder was El Dorado Industries, who's done the paving program here previously. And their total bid amount, including all alternate optional roads, was $463,898.50. We'll be asking for that to be awarded to them tonight and later on in the agenda. And just to note, that is approximately $20,000 below what you've been allocated for liquid fuels. So there is still some money left in that account. I think John's going to look into purchasing some in-house paving equipment with that money. The only other thing I have that will also be coming up on the agenda is the Victory Avenue storm sewer repair. We worked with the Public Works Department to do some more investigation into that, and now it looks like the scope of work is a little less than we had thought. It'll be the replacement of about 17.5 feet of 80-inch pipe with new 60-inch pipe. As of now, we had recommended 60-inch reinforced concrete pipe through a contractor that we would get quotes, and we're going to ask for approval to get quotes. But we're also going to look at if we can use a heavy-duty, something lighter like an HDPE, and have it done in-house. So we're also going to be investigating that option. And unless there are any questions on my written report, those are all the updates I have.
Question, Brian?
Sure.
The camera in the back to truck.
Yes, I spoke to John before the meeting. He tends to agree that for the work that the township does with the camera truck and the Vector truck, it would be better served for us to hire a private contractor or use another municipality, such as Clarendon, when we need it. There's not enough consistent televising and back truck work to sign up and do a long-term agreement for multiple weeks over 5 years. So we would recommend that the township don't move forward with the shake off.
Appreciate that, Brian, because it was a pretty astronomical price that we would have to pay.
Yeah, those are better served for like the authorities that have consent orders where they have to do a percentage every year of televising. When you're working through the Township Public Works, that they only need it as they come across problems, it's hard to sign up for that amount of televising when you don't know what you need.
I wanted to ask a quick question.
Sure.
Have you looked at that guardrail at 703 Industry Road?
No, I want to meet with you.
Okay, I want to, because this guy, and I know a lot of people in the audience probably remember this being on the news, it was probably last year. There's a guy, he's in Industry Road, he's going around a bend. His house was hit by a truck last year, it went through it, hit a beam, hit a gas line, his whole house filled with gas, it almost exploded. He told me for the past 20 years, his house has been rammed through with cars and trucks 5 times. and he said that his wife is afraid to even go in the dining room. So I told him that I'd like to look into getting a guardrail put up around there. He reached out to PennDOT. They said it would be more safe to not have a guardrail and just let it go through the house, but that just really doesn't make any sense to me. So we have,
Safer for who?
yeah, I know, safer for who? So what I wanted to ask you is if we can't put a guardrail, would put up like concrete barriers or, you know, cages that have limestone or gravel in them?
Where is it?
By the old Baptist church at the Y going up towards Blydale and Industry.
I think we would need to look at options that would more facilitate slowing a vehicle down, not stopping it. And that's what
Yeah.
PennDOT said the liability is if you put up a guardrail or barrier or something like that, and the driver strikes it and stops and it causes injury to them. So we can look at other options that may slow the vehicle down.
The past two drivers were drunk. They both got DUIs for it. So, I mean, I don't think, you know.
Yeah, we'll go out and take a look at
So
it.
we have to do something.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a very difficult, one of my constituents is actually in the audience, and he had a similar situation happen, and we had the county come out, and they just would not have it. To put a guy, I mean, he lives on a steep end, and they weren't having it. I mean, they just would not want to go.
It's like, what's more dangerous than having that truck running through your house? I mean,
I couldn't believe it when they come out. I said, you everywhere you go, they're everywhere, and they just wouldn't put it up.
Shovel. We got the shovel.
You got a sign.
Yeah.
We'll schedule
yeah,
something.
we
maybe
gotta do
Wednesday.
something about it. I just wanted to figure that out.
President Potter, can I ask Brian a question? Just on your report.
I mean, there'll be a chance for public comment. You know, I mean, it's really, we're kind of going through the reports now, so I think that let's keep it in order. So if there's any questions from the audience, you can either address it in the public comment section for the agenda items, or there'll be an opportunity to speak at the end. So if you have a question for Brian, I'd prefer if you know, keep it there. Because otherwise it turns into a banter. You know, you have a question and they have a question, so we're trying to keep the
I was just
meeting
trying
a
to
little
keep it
bit
all in
more
one
organized.
little bunch there so that we have everything.
Your report?
There's nothing outside my report unless there's any questions.
I'd like to commend you for finding the money that you found, to everybody read that in the report with them. Can you go ahead and just touch on those real quick?
The unclaimed property.
The unclaimed property.
Yeah, I looked on the PA Treasury website and I found that.
Well, Lauren, talking to the mic, please.
On the PA Treasury website, we had a little over $7,000 in unclaimed property that was due to us. So I submitted the paperwork for that.
And also the health and wellness.
Working with MDS on a health and wellness program for our employees that we can discuss later with the commissioners about possibly purchasing Fitbits for all of our employees and help reduce our healthcare rates in the future.
Thank you, Lauren. Chief Crestus.
Report for the month of March 2016, there were 500 events logged by Allegheny County 911 for our department. There were 12 adult arrests, 0 juvenile arrests. Officers conducted 111 traffic stops, and they issued 18 traffic citations. During the month of March, officers investigated 7 motor vehicle crashes, 2 reportable, 5 non-reportable, with 0 injuries as a result of these crashes. And also, we received a check from Stevens Appellate Office for $9,000 put towards our creation or canine.
Thanks, Chief. And we're going to talk about the canine in the discussion, so that will be one of the discussion items when we get there. Then I think we'll talk about that in the delinquent tax collector. Then I think we're going to break for exec session. And we'll have those discussion items first. So thank you, Chief. Johnny, Road Department.
We're continuing the spring cleanup for another week. We'll go around if anyone has anything, give us a call. The bins will stay up back here. We're going to leave those up for a few more months anyway, so people will have a chance to bring things up here. The tractor came in. The arm has to be put on, so it'll probably be a couple more weeks. We should have it before the end of April. And we're working on some of the roads that are going to be paved, preparing catch basins and getting those ready for paving. That's about it.
Johnny, since there's money left over in with the liquid fuels, we'll be able to do some in-house paving.